As we come back with Priscilla Presley here at Graceland, what you see there is torches starting to be lit. That's the eternal flame. They take that, right, and then light others, and then eventually everybody lights it from one to another.
Right.
And all the people wound up marking a vigil around the gravesite.
That's right.
You've told it many times. How'd you meet Elvis?
Oh, my gosh.
You were a tiny tyke.
Yeah. It's a long time right now, that's for sure. When I was 14 years old, I have told it many times, and I think people get tired of hearing it, but I will
do it quickly.
Okay, and then when I was 14, I was in Germany, and he was stationed in Germany, and I was invited to go visit with him. I was actually, I was at the Eagles Club, which was a place that military families had gone to, you know, eat lunch, you know, have entertainment. And I was writing home letters to all my friends, missing them very much. And there was a guy and his wife that were there, and he introduced himself and asked me, you know, what I was doing there, how long I had been there. I just, my goodness, it was only 3 weeks that I had just gotten there. Asked me if I wanted to visit Elvis, and did I like him? And I said yes. And I'm saying this very quickly to get it over with. I said I have to, you know, ask my parents. Never ever thinking that, you know, I would meet him. And
did you fall in love at 14?
It was hard not to fall in love. I didn't, you know, when I met Elvis, it was a very, very different Elvis. You know, he was very vulnerable, missing home very, very much, missing Graceland. He had just lost his mother. In the Army, just devastated because he really never got to mourn, you know, the loss of his mother. So he was in a foreign country. Not being able to.
Amazing courtship, though. Now, we have some things here. What is this?
Well, this is his billfold. This is what he carried with him.
An old-fashioned wallet.
Not in his pocket, but he carried this in his black kit. Yes, I guess it is
what?
Old-fashioned now. It's 30 years ago.
He carried
but
it
it's
in
pretty
his what?
updated. He carried this in his kit that he used to have, all of his personal items that he carried
And that's
with him.
the actual wallet?
This is it. This is the actual wallet. This is the actual cards that he had in it. He had a picture of his daughter and himself. I had a photographer come to the house, and these were our personal photos. And badge, this is all cards from either policemen or narcotic badges. My goodness,
Wow.
sheriff, police
Got
department.
money in there, too?
Elvis hardly ever had any money. He hardly ever carried any money.
No kidding.
No. No, he would always have someone around him.
What's the glasses?
The glasses, these are his trademark glasses here. This has TCB on the side. He would go to a place at that time, it was called Optique Boutique, and have all of his glasses
Here?
made. No, in Los Angeles, right on Sunset Boulevard. That was his trademark.
They are sunglasses?
These are. These are sunglasses, and he had many of these in different colors.
Wore them on stage, too?
Yes, all the time. Mm-hmm.
What's the pendant?
The pendant is a gift that I gave him, actually, in 1967, I believe. It was from our favorite jeweler at the time, Harry Levitch. It's a calendar in the back marking his birthday with a ruby and diamonds on the side. You know, Elvis did like a lot of flash. He loved jewelry, and he liked getting jewelry. He was more of a giver, though. He loved giving gifts more than he did receiving gifts. So
Does
this
the
is
card
one of the
mean
pieces.
anything?
The card does. The card is actually the first card that was ever given. With Lisa on it. It's usually our cards were Elvis, Priscilla, and this is Elvis, Priscilla, and Lisa. So it means a lot.
She was born.
She was just born, and it was the first year. So this is the first card that we sent out to all the fans.
We have an email question from Wayne in Santa Fe, New Mexico. What do you miss most about Elvis?
Oh my gosh, what is there not to miss? Elvis epitomized charm, charisma, but I think his laughter. Elvis had the most contagious laughter. He just, once he started laughing, that was it. Everyone would start laughing, and sometimes it was uncontrollable. He couldn't stop, and he laughed over the silliest things. You know, he just had a great sense of humor. Loved to have fun, loved to play games.
You still love him?
Well, of course. I mean, he was a hard person not to love.
Did you love him the day you divorced him?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We didn't get divorced because I didn't love him. You know, sometimes people grow apart. And more in different lifestyles. It was a lifestyle that was very difficult to live for a woman. Very difficult. It wasn't because I didn't care or I didn't love him. If anything, I did love him more than I can even imagine. But that was a very difficult decision. But he was always in my life, and it wasn't as if we were divorced at all.
Did you watch him work a lot?
I did. I watched
him.
him
Married,
work.
I mean, go to Vegas and.
I did. I went to Vegas. I went to the shows. Women weren't allowed to go at that time a lot. The wives weren't allowed to go a lot. We were opening, closing a lot in the middle. Special occasions. But when Elvis worked, it wasn't really to have, you know, he didn't like to have to worry about people on the set or me coming in. It was hard. It was difficult to come in.
And he worked hard.
He worked very hard. Elvis had so much to give, you know. Not only talent, but his passion, his compassion, his generosity. I don't know if we'll ever see anything like it again. You know, and it's growing. We have now kids who are 6, 7, 8, 9, into their 13s, or into their teens, and really discovering who Elvis is today. And it's spreading, like our visitorship is enormous with young kids now. So obviously he had something that is certainly... people have certainly been able to attach themselves to. And
this place is going to grow, right? I think they're adding a hotel, right?
Yes, yes. We have big plans to be able to expand and to be able to make it a lot better for the visitors. We have, in fact, I'm very excited about what's happening. Big
corporation buy into it, is it?
Well, yes, partnered with us, and basically...
And you still retain it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So
we were still very much involved in the plans, and it's actually everything that we wanted to do. You know, it just gives us the resources and the networking to be able to get it done. You know, we were a private company for so long, we took it to as far as we could go.
Was it difficult when people said that Elvis wasn't really dead, when there were stories about him being spotted in places? Did you have a tough time explaining it to your daughter?
No, I didn't. I mean, obviously, we knew he was. He was right here, and Lisa saw him, so it wasn't like she didn't know. No, it wasn't. It was just, I think, basically people who wished it were true and thought they saw him, or, you know, hoped.
Was it a challenge? Do you feel it's a challenge to share him with his fans?
Oh my gosh, it's a challenge. I just spoke about that actually last night. It's a challenge to speak about him. In that people want to know so much about him, and it's never enough. And you question, how much is enough? How much do you give? You know, Elvis was a very, very private person. When he left Hollywood, this is where he would come to get away from everything. He shared with his very close friends and family who he was more than anyone else. His fans have always been his biggest supporters, and they've always been there with him 100%. So I feel, you know, I like, you know, sharing as much as I can, but there's still a lot I don't share, and really feel I can't, because there's a line that one has to, you know, has to say, that's it. I have to give him the respect that he always wanted as far as his privacy.
So this was a place he came to.
Absolutely.
To get away from.
That's exactly right.
An email from Michelle, Corona, California. I attended the official Elvis auction at the MGM in Las Vegas in 1999. It was to benefit Presley Place in Memphis. Can we expect more auctions from the archives?
Oh, that's a difficult question. You know, the archives are very, very special, very unique to us, and I mean, it's really it's his legacy and things that are obviously his, and we have a lot of things, you know, in the archives, but it's a very specialized. Oh my gosh, if it's an auction, it would have to be something very special to us, but we have to have a few of them and not give away what we do have. It's difficult.
Are you amazed at all the things that people leave by the grave?
I know.
From all over the world.
All over the world, yes. Absolutely. And it takes a while, you know, to sift through and go through all of those things, but those are things that mean a lot to those people. And when you go through it and you look around and you see how important he was to them, pictures that they leave, artifacts, pieces of cloth, it's flowers, oh my gosh, it goes on and on.
You know, Priscilla, most people in the normal situation, they get divorced and they go on with their lives, right? You will always be a Presley. How does that hit you? In other words, anybody look at you, no matter where you go, what you are in life, how you succeed, the wonderful movies you made, Elvis's wife.
Right. It's the same thing that Lisa has to carry with her too, and her grandchildren, and her children and my grandchildren. No, it isn't easy, and yet it isn't difficult. It's something that I think you just accept. You accept it now. Probably more difficult in the beginning because you're working, you have a career, and people would, want to talk about Elvis, or, have a curiosity about who he was, or they recognize you and want to ask questions and know again more about him. And I think that's something you just learn to accept.